one-of-a-kind steampunk pieces. My claim to fame is I like to have everything actually function. If there's pieces, we're actually going to make them work. If I've got a Gatling gun, it's going to move. If I pull a gun out, why not light the bullets up too? If you got a telegraph, don't be using that language in here. Yeah, there's children's ears here. I'm sorry, text messaging, don't do it.
You're not allowed to do that while driving, you know that, right?
Yeah, no texting while driving. We're time traveling.
That's right. Never know when you'll end up.
You'll see up there it says costume seamstress. I am not a tailor. Do not bring your pair of pants to me and ask me, can you make these tighter? I despise tearing seams apart and redoing them. If I have to do it for my own pair, I'll throw the whole pair of pants away and make a new pair of pants. I am a seamstress. You start from scratch and work it all the way through. I am not a tailor. I've been at this about 25 years. A little bit of off time. I played baseball all the way through. I got drafted to the Atlanta Braves out of high school. Blew my knee, so that ended that. But I grew up, my dad got me at 7 years old doing the mountain man stuff. So at 7 years old, I was doing Indian beadwork. I was eventually making my dad's buckskin pants for him because my grandmother taught me how to sew by hand. And with buckskins, it's a lot easier to do it by hand so you don't tear the leather because it's very expensive. We figured, Thomas and I, we were talking, we figured we'd throw some pictures of our first costumes up there. The skinniest princess bride you've ever seen. Musketeer thing, I got into the Renaissance stuff like a lot of people do. Then the Renaissance thing of, that's the wrong time period, that's the wrong this, wrong material. I'm like, stop, okay? I'm going to do Musketeer whether you like it or not because they're cool. So I went this route. He didn't get the one picture on there, but one of my favorite pieces to this day I've ever made, I made the Musketeer tunics from Man in the Iron Mask. Full, basically down to the calf level, black velvet, hand embroidered, all the crests on it. You flip the inside, it was red satin on the inside. You pull a rapier and spin, you get that black, silver, and red just swish as you're going around. It was some of the most awesome pictures when we would do that one. My father works at a Revolutionary War fort as a volunteer for reenactments. And a couple of the people that were there, that's a mother and daughter pair, they wanted to come out and perform too, so we made this up. And this would have been very common in that time period. Any leftover material, they'd make a dress for their daughter. Anything they had left over. So that you get a lot of common of the pair that would match. Next slide. Sorry.
Yeah.
Coming. It's slow.
This is my first shoulder piece I ever made. It actually debuted, what, a year and a half ago?
Yeah, about a year and a half.
Over down in Daytona, when they had the one down there. This is also my first one here. This is on display back at the table back there on the mannequin. I tried to come up with a neat thing for the arm. These right there, front shocks to a remote control car. Take all the oil out of them. Otherwise, you go here and it goes. You know, you're gonna have an arm wrestling match all day. It takes the oil out. This piece, I like some of the pieces on here that I continued and brought it across in my new one, right there. It's a replica of a map reader from the 1800s, but they would put on a map so they could read it easier. That's all it is, put an LED light behind it. No problem. All the blue wire, everybody wants to know what that is, it's EL wire. You can go on Amazon and you can find it there. Color-wise, I'll give you a hint. Stick with blue or green. Any other color, unless you're in a dark room, you don't hardly ever see it. It's very dim. But the blue and the green show up pretty well. This is our friend Vicky. Vicky's kind of new to steampunk, so we're trying to make her the most comfortable. She's an absolute Disney nut. And she definitely has the Tinkerbell personality. Steampunk Tinkerbell.
Awesome.
We put her in that. She had a ball, her hat, all tooled leather. On the front of it has TikTok. On the very top of it is a silhouette of Hook's pirate ship. This side here, there's a busted clock with the gears hanging off there. This side here, there's a little keyhole, and we've got Peter Pan's shadow trying to escape out of it.
Awesome.
We basically rewrote her character. She's the mob boss of Neverland. On her bracers, when she puts them together, gives her a map of Neverland. On the bracers, there's half and half. And you'll see there's little vials here, and if you go, you'll get a chuckle out of it. The little colors in there. She has little vials full of different colored sand, and you look at the colors, and they're actually all the ashes of the Disney princesses. You know, like you'll see the bright pink with a little bit of yellow in there, and it's like, yeah, there's Sleeping Beauty, you know.
sometimes to add on to what RJ's saying about this, we'll put in sight gags into our things. You've got to look for them, but they're there.
This piece right here is my steam bracer, my favorite. If somebody gives me the correct proper pricing for this thing, it's history, it's yours. This is not for sale. I love this piece. That's why I put my character's initials on it. It's done. It's mine. It's not going anywhere. This piece was my 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I love it. I told you that. I couldn't have my own novel, so I made one to carry with me. Took that one. It now belongs to Bruce Boxleitner. Anybody watch Tron?
Yeah.
Tron. We went to Dragon Con. We found out he is a very, very big 20,000 fan. So we're in the line to go up there, and I looked at Rosanna. I go, you know what? I can make another one of these. This is going to him. So I go down the line, and I said, you know, he signed it. He's all, who's too? And I said, you know, for all the stuff you've done, the movies that I grew up with, I've got a gift for you. And he goes, what? And I handed it down there. This is it. This is Bruce Boxleitner, has been Tron, been in all this stuff, seen Hollywood everywhere. To get the guy to stop, freeze, you know, you could have heard the record go, stops, looks, you have got to be kidding. And I said, yeah, push the button. Push the button, eyes light up, it gives you that green glow, and I did a blue base that it was sitting on so it looked like it was sitting in the water, and I hadn't planned on it at first, but when you look at it from head on, it gives that green glow in front of it just like if it was sitting on the water. And he was just floored by it. But that's his, so I'm going to make another one. I love that piece. This is my wife's. She does a geologist, so we try to make everything actually have a purpose. This would be her field tools. An abacus, they didn't have calculators. An abacus you could use in the field anywhere, wouldn't hurt anything. It has a jeweler's loupe, so she can flip it up and look at a rock if she needs to. And if she needs to look even more, that's a replica of an 1800s microscope. That she can pull out of that tube, use it, and then pop it back in there. So she has all the tools that she needs. Gatling guns. Got one here. There's one I made for Chris sitting right there in front of Rocky. The other corner over there. Now, I'll use these two as an example. You got a Gatling gun and a flamethrower. How many people want a real working Gatling gun on your wrist and a real working flamethrower on your wrist?
No, you
No.
don't. You will scorch your hand. The other thing is you can't get on plane.
Yes. This is the flamethrower one. CO2 from a paintball gun for the tubes. All the tubes on there.
Now, one thing that I will add in onto this, especially about the flamethrower. When RJ started making that flamethrower, it didn't have the CO2 tubes on it, I don't think.
No, I didn't. I just kind of put a quick whimsical thing
He
together.
just put something together and he posted a picture. RJ and I, and even Rocky, not so much Thomas, because Thomas is into the big items, as you can tell, will sit up at night and we will play off of each other. And as I said yesterday, as you grow with makers, you'll start making a community and having other people that you can talk to.
Bounce
And you will
ideas.
bounce ideas off of each other. We've stayed up until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning going, hey, wouldn't it be cool if? And then we would work the whole thing all the way through.
Let me shoot through this here because we're going to get short on time.
We're gonna short on time.
All parts should have a purpose. Like I was saying, my wife's one is made for her character. You know, even if you get a piece that you love, build your character around that piece if you want to. That's a way of building your costume if you're not sure. Some people get the whole picture right off the bat and go for it. Other ones, you get a cool piece you like, build a piece around it, build your costume around it. Why would you need that piece? There you go. Quick one. My character has a crushed arm. If I take this shoulder thing off, the arm just hangs at my side, doesn't do anything, it's dead. But with this technology, I can have my arm back. And we went ahead and added in that I can interchange weapons or telegraphs or whatever I need onto my arm piece. No mistakes. There's creative ways to not do things. There's no mistakes. And a mistake is something you don't learn from. If you learn from something that didn't come out the way you wanted it and don't ever do that again, you learned. It's not a mistake, it was a learning experience. Ask for help. We've all said that, every one of us. Ask for help from each other. It makes the group a stronger group. It makes everybody's stuff come out better to where, you know, you bump into the guys from the 501st forever. Those guys were always the, oh my God, look how good their stuff is. I'll take a good steampunk group and throw it up against them any day, and you'll even see the 501st guys go, oh, it happens. Love what you create. Doesn't matter if anybody else likes it or not. Do you like it? That's what matters. Don't worry about someone else's opinion. Finally,
Yeah.
How many?
Make them move. Don't glue them. They're not taxidermy. Look for parts, tandy leather, yard sales, antique stores, grandma